Alrighty, hellos. Yeah, just back here with another little bit of a tip. So this is a little bit more advanced, getting to the deployment. Because from the last one, which is the most important, like the shift left click is the most important. But a lot of people are asking about, oh, I don't know the map, so how do I deploy? Well, I'm just taking any old map. So Slutsk is a fairly mixed up map a bit, like open space over here, town fighting, a bit of CQC forest. But you just need to think about, well, I do it from both sides actually. So from here, let's do it from the opposite side first of all. So if I'm approaching here, then I want to look, the first thing I want to look at is the flags. You get to know this as you become more familiar. So this one's close to the blue side. This one's reasonably close. This one's a bit further back. So it's my flags. This one's quite close to the front. This one's kind of. And this one is especially close as well. So I want to think about two things. Defending this flag and maybe pushing this flag. Or possibly, well, that's about it, yeah. Because they're the two flags which are really close to the front line. Pushing for here is a bit much. It can be done, but you need smoke to do it. Alright, so how would I deploy? First thing you want to think about, go to support. You have your fast units. Usually, in the infantry tab, there's no fast units in this division. This is just a randomly selected division. Don't even know if it's my build or it's the computer's build, to be honest. Anyway, so first thing you want to think about, flamers. So here, this needs to be protected. I want flamers up into there. So, all right, I can't put them down here. Yeah, but so I'll probably put a couple of flamers down here. They want CQC and maybe CQC infantry, a pioneer. Alright. Possibly a leader to hold it up as well, and maybe some light tanks if I've got one, but I don't have there, but I've got a horse here, so I'd probably use this up here. And something with AT capabilities. Maybe a Snyder up there, maybe Venatori Dicari. Oh, this is the computer's build, not mine. And the same in the town, rushing something, you want more machine guns here, so you're more in the open. Probably want to get a recon in here if you can. Whereas in this deck, the Calisari, they're not particularly fast, so you might lose it in transport, so it's probably best to sort of unload it a bit early, move it up, put it on return fire only so it doesn't die, but it's more spottable. Something that a lot of people don't know. If it's a 10-man recon squad, it's more visible than a 2-man recon squad, regardless of what it says for the stealth. I was told this by I think it's Gonzo, I believe, so I take that as being truth. Or was it by Gonzo? Someone told me that anyway. So even if this gets reduced down to, if you lose 8 men, then it still counts as a 10-man squad in terms of visibility in the game. That's how it functions. So it's a useful tip there. And also places like here, like this is quite an open area. So you want to check your flags straight away, like here, this is open, this is quite open, but I can hide something in the building, so I want to hide something in here to hold this flag. Here's very open, so maybe put some armor back here, or an AT gun possibly in here to cover this. These are the things you need to think about right from the get-go. Then deploying, well, I'll show you what you deploy first usually. So I probably want, leave this area fairly open. I can come in and cover this flag fairly easily, so I don't need to worry about it too much. But if I wanted to push, then I go onto the hill. Whereas in here, this is going to be a bit more tricky, so I probably want some kind of weaponry in here, or in here. Maybe I want to be rushing into here. And probably, maybe bringing stuff down here and round here, and forcing more up onto this hill, or directly over here into this forest. There's different ways, and you can come down here into here. It all depends. Well, anyway. Most important thing here is, you don't need to worry about where the spawns are at the moment, because you're just in deployment. So you generally want to split the map into 3 areas. In this one, I would think about it in like 4 different parts, to be honest, because you've got like this area, well, this area here, the town, and up on the hill. But most maps you can sort of divide into 3 quite easily. So first things I would bring out is flamers. So I want to get a flamer. I probably wouldn't usually do this, but anyway, just to show you, like a flamer for speed here. I want some flamer in here for speed, and a flamer in the town for speed. And because there's a forested area up here, that I want to maybe contend with, I'll put 2 in here. Alright. Now, machine gun. I'm going to want a machine gun in the town somewhere, at least one. I'm probably going to want one on the hill as well. I'm probably going to want one up here, because it helps a lot. And maybe I want one over here, but I'm not sure, so I'll leave that. Big open field, I'm going to want some kind of anti-tank. So maybe I just get a light one to start with, and I get an anti-tank infantry unit, in case you get pushed up on. Then also want to hold this forest in this town. So, and actually a machine gun in here would actually be very useful. So I'll probably put a machine gun in here as well. But then I've got no machine guns left. I usually like to keep one in reserve if I can. Now, up on the hill, if I want to... Oh, this machine gun's going up on the hill. These are going up on the hill. So in the town, so I've got my generalized infantry. These, now, the machine guns on these are, it says M and S. You see, M and S. So it means move and shoot. It means it can fire it at 100 meters range. Unlike this light machine gun, which is more powerful, but under 100 meters range it doesn't fire. Which is a bit crazy because it's a Pioneer. But yeah, I'm probably going to want some Pioneer for protection over here. Pioneer for some protection over here. In the centre of the town, maybe chuck something with some AT in the town would be nice. So probably put a couple of those in, and a leader as well. A leader up on the hill is probably going to come in handy as well, so I do that. And then I've got these are all singled, so maybe maybe you're going to want some support up on the hill, a tank just to help out. The horse on the hill, they're really good. Oh, where's the tank gone? So it's basically thinking about it in this sense. So let me just get rid of all this again, just to make it a bit clearer. Because yeah, every division is a bit different. Clearly it's a bit different. So main things, so fast units, machine guns. These are the things you want to be putting down. I mean, flamers, first things you want to be putting down, because they can hold the line quite quickly, drop smoke, allow other troops to come in. Then your machine guns, again, these are usually in fast transports. If they're not, then it doesn't really matter as much as getting right up to the front straight away. Then your mainline infantry. Here you've got a lot of variety in this division. But we're looking at, you've got the Infanterie and ones with the Panzerfaust. So these guys are kind of your mainline infantry. You've got the double MG ones here. So these are going to do, always look out for this. We've got two light machine guns in your unit. These are going to hold the ground better than anything, especially these ones, because they're good at, they can fire at under 100 meters. So you want to be thinking about this straight away. So I want a couple in the town, a couple on the hill, one over here, maybe just scatter them everywhere. So that, but I want some in reserve as well. Maybe I don't want to use them all up straight away. Then like holding the leader in the town, leader on the hill, want to hold those positions. Then it's AT you probably want to think about. The Rosita, I've only got 2 of these in A, but there's 4 of them in B, so I can probably afford to use one. Probably put it on the hill, so it's a bit more safe. Can move it back and forth a bit. AA would be a good idea. I would generally say to you, you want to take a fighter in deployment, 1 fighter, or an AA piece, like where you think you're going to be most vulnerable. So if I'm deploying this Rosita up here, so this is my powerful weapon, I want to protect it, so I'm going to want to bring an AA piece up there if I can. And where I've got the AA piece, I'm probably going to want to drop my leader next to it to boost it up. So it's a 2-star vet. At the moment it's just a 1. Those are the kind of things you think about. Also, a lot of people in deployment, especially, you know, new players, they'll buy, oh, I have a tank, and a tank over here, and a tank over here. You don't want it, like, at most, I would generally, it does depend on divisions, I have to admit, but when you come into the medium tanks that cost, like, over 50 points, 2 maximum, like round about the 50, like the T-34s, you can bring in 2 in deployment. Yeah, makes sense. A Stug, 80 points, I'll bring in 1. I won't bring in any more than that. There's no need, because you need to assess where you're going to need it to start with. And you're not just going to rush them with tanks. It's just insane. You can do that with like Pansari or something, possibly, but generally you don't want to do that. Also, this division is not fantastic for recon, but as in these can get spotted, like I just said before. But in your artillery tab, you have these ones. Again, this is the computers division, not mine. These things, because these are a 2-man squad, as you can see, strength 2, as it says just here. So, bringing out one of these somewhere to spot. If you look for a church tower, if you can. So this one in particular, I want to unload it into this tower. So the vision here, it looks really bad, but it's actually, once it's in the tower, it'll be able to see practically everything in this town. So it's a really good position. And your opponent will be doing the same here. Also, I really like, where I think the biggest problem is going to be, or I wanting to make a bigger push, I want to usually put a mortar somewhere roundabouts in the area. So I'll probably drop it around here. And this would be, just in case he starts pushing in the town, then it's there to back up, and I can start laying down some defensive fire over here. Whereas if I want to push further in a town, and there's got AT guns up in here, there's an AT gun on the road, maybe machine guns around here, I can just lay down smoke here, and then I can bring in reinforcements, unload them into the buildings, do that kind of thing if I'm doing an assault. So those are the main things you need to think about when you're deploying. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but reading the map is mostly looking at the road, so, and splitting. Usually, I say this is a bit of an unusual map, but you want to split it into sort of 3 arenas. So let's just jump out of here and go and have a look at another map quickly, show what I mean. So to be honest, I really do. An aspect of the game I enjoyed was learning the maps. It's a pain in a way, but you find little niches and little things that you didn't know were there before, and it can be interesting rather than just being told. But it's just having a general outlook on how to approach it. What should we look at? Ocean North's a fairly popular thing. Again, this is a very, very much a sort of 3-way divided map. Anyway, let's just go for this. Yeah, launch. Let's do this one. So a different division as well. I've got it on like any old random division. And where are we again? So again, different division again. Soviets. Here you've got your main line. Same thing again. You've got some 20-point Strelky here, then you've got your Strelky DP, and you can see you've got 2 light machine guns. So these are going to be like your main, these are going to hold off in the front line. Here you've got your CQC units, your Molotovs, and you've got some nice bulky leader units here. Support tab, Ognemichiki, and Maxims. So it's the same kind of principle. So I want to get the flamers in there fast, where I can. Again, I wouldn't usually do exactly this, but this is just a guide. Again, I'd probably leave one out of here. It depends if I want to push into here or not. Same situation reading the map. So this, I'm going to need to make sure I can defend these flags. They're all very close to the front line. Well, all 3 of these, in fact. Whereas on my opponent's side, it's kind of, he's got these 3 and this one up here. And this is quite a symmetrical map in some ways. Whereas if I lose the fight over here, I lose 1 flag. If I lose a fight over here, I can lose 2, possibly 3. And again, we've basically got 3 areas of assault here. The center field is like the open play, recognizing the play. There's lots of throws here. Obviously, it's going to be mostly sort of CQC going on here. So for armor in this area, Shermans would be very potent because they're very good in close quarter combat. Whereas a Sherman out here would die very quickly. It needs to sort of get into the cover. And just look at little positions, so you can put AT guns into here, possibly into here, machine guns. Here's a potential, if I can get into this forest and smoke here, move across, can take this fairly easily without too much bother. And this is a hill, so this is like going to be my main sort of defensive point. And it's the same for my opponent on the other side. So just looking at these things quickly. So machine guns, probably going to want some in these kind of areas on the hill in the center here. So put machine gun there, probably one out here, maybe one in the town over here as well. It's quite an open area. Other things, again, infantry, Strelky DP. Going to put these in the town. They'll be good at holding the town. And one's going to be decent over here. For CQC, I'm going to want at least one Tanko on each side for sure. Then I've just got these. So these Strelky DP, they've got anti-tank rifles. These have got anti-tank grenades. So that might come in handy on the sides as well. In CQC. Probably going to want to put a leader on each flank. And then tanks. Now, this is what I was saying about the tanks before. So these are 55 points. So having two of these is okay. But if you want to check out the range on this, it's 1,500 meters. So out in the center, absolutely useless. Not going to do me any good at all. So I don't want it out there. But in this area, it's going to be more useful. So maybe I'm going to want to push up over here at some point. Or do I want to just focus on defending here? Well, first of all, let's look at AT. So a light tank gun over here would be useful. Same thing over here. One in the center, probably around this area somewhere, would be good. And on the hill as well, an anti-tank gun would come in fairly handy, I would say. In terms of recon, yeah, sniper's going to be good. Oh, did I lose that anti-tank gun? Oh no, it's out there. Maybe a recon car to support over here. And a tank. So this is an area I want to defend quite heavily and then possibly push into here. Whereas here I also want to maybe make a push. So should I go for a tank up here as well? I think a sniper's definitely going to be useful. Need some kind of recon. PTRS for sniping transports. These are very handy where you've got lots of forest around. So put one of these on each flank as well. And then I've got a few points left. In the center, fairly sparse, and I don't have any air protection. So maybe I want to pop one of these out. So this can go into the center hill. And because the infantry on the center hill, I've just got one flamer going up here, a sniper, and a Zis. That's not a lot. So just for an extra bit of protection, what should I put in here? Maybe the BA-10, just for a bit of protection. Now, let's see, just to reiterate what I was saying last time, which is really important. So here again, we've got actually four roads here. So it's usually split into 3 or 4 sort of avenues on this map. I say yes, forest, town, but this is almost part of the same arena. So I'd say like 1, then the center, then this, then this. Anyway, so let's go over deployment. If you remember from the previous video, the most essential piece of information for any new player is this. Select all your units. Then I want to issue an order to just one of these. Which one do I want to pick? I'm going to deploy my PTRS first, so we'll see if we can get some nasty early snipes in. So I'm going to unload that here, because I'm mean and nasty. Then I press shift and I left click. I find the PTRS here. I left click on it. It's gone. Now I want to deploy my flamer unit. Let's see if I can get a bit further with this one. Let's try and be sneaky and rush into here. And again, shift, left click. Now the sniper. Where do I want to unload the sniper? Let's say I want to get up around here. So I'm going to unload that there. Now, let's pretend that I make a mistake. So now I'm going to left click, but I'm going to forget to press shift. Oh no. Oh dear. So now I've got one unit going here, one unit going here, the rest, all of them are going here. So it's like, oh, it's a mess. But you can just start again. Or you can just select this. I know I've given this an order, so I'll get rid of that. I know I've given a flamer an order, get rid of that. I know I've given a sniper an order, so I'm holding down shift, get rid of that. Now I'm back to where I was before. You don't need to reorder everything again. But I know, it's kind of obvious, I know that, but when you're in a panic in the game, you'll think, so just sort of remind yourself, I don't need to issue all those orders again. Just remember what you've given orders, what things you've given orders to. And again, you can tab through if you wish, but I don't really see the point in doing that. It's best to do individual units in my book. So tankos, unload here, remove. AT gun, unload. Unload here, remove. And what are these? Strelki and the leader, unload here. And I can just tab through these, why not? Unload one in there and unload the other down here. Now the same. You can see how quickly I can do this now. Again, these are all, I can tab through most of these. But let's just stick to the way I was saying you should do it to begin with. So, flamer in here, get rid of it. Machine gun here. Machine gun in here. AT gun. Let's pop it back here. And what we've got left, Strelki DB, Strelki DP. So I'm going to unload one here. I'm going to unload the other one in here. Now, again, flamer. I'm going to see if I can sneak into here. I'm going to put a sniper in here, get some vision. AT gun in here. And use this thing just to come up around here. And the AA I'm going to unload around here. I'm going to want to get a leader up around this AA to boost it up later. And over here, flamer, I'll just try and rush one into there. Get rid of that. PTRS, I'm going to rush you down here. Tanko, trying to get you into there. AT gun, I'm going to put you in here. B10. Where do I want to go with this? I just go around, maybe around here for now. And what we got left here? Again, you can just mouse over them to see what they are. So DP, I get that one in there. Strelki, maybe put that a bit further back. Leader, a bit further back in protection here. And then finally the tank, which I'm going to get to come around here. So it can be done that quick. And now once you've done this deployment as well, always be wary of the airplay. So I've got this coming out here, and we're both on balance here. But if I was on balance and my opponent was on Maverick, a tip that which a lot of the pros talk about is saying don't waste points on planes if you're balanced versus Maverick, especially well in A and B phase, because you're not going to get your money's worth out of them. So look at the air tab quickly. Like the Yak-9T, yeah, decent fighter, does a lot of damage, really nice. It's 105 points. That means that's five units of Strelki you could bring out, and what you want to be doing if you're balanced versus Maverick is you want to be defending, especially in B, and they're going to be getting way more points than you every tick. Something like 40 points per tick. So they'd be getting they could literally buy in 2 more Strelki every minute, more than what you could. So you need to keep that in mind. So when it comes to the air, you might, if they go really heavy into the airplay, then if you're going to bring out a fighter at the start, keep it near your AA piece around here. Try and bait the enemy to come over it. Over here, I wouldn't really be flying a fighter. I'd have to put AA up first. So if I see like 2 planes come out at the start and he's got fighter bombers coming out and whatnot, then I'm probably going to start thinking, it's going to be a good idea to bring out another AA piece over here. And these 25 mils are pretty decent, they're cheap as well. But more importantly as well, on this tab you can see I've not got any kind of decent artillery. I've got this cheap off map. Anyway, let's just go to Stop me rambling on. Just repeating the shift left click thing for deployment. It's so important though, as a new player. I remember looking at, you can see people, if you watch many games on YouTube, you can see people doing it. It's like, how are they doing that? And like, nobody sort of tells you, and it's hard to explain. But it's just select everything, shift left click, remove them. It's that simple. Let's go on another map. Oh, it's another fairly popular one. This is a very much divided into 3. Oops, what am I doing? Very, very much divided into 3 arenas on this map. Yeah, Harrowshire, I have a love-hate relationship with this map. Alright, and again, if the map is completely new to you, you've not played it before, you would instantly just go onto the side view very quickly. Oh, and of course, I'm sure you all noticed it by now. Just in case you don't, I should have mentioned this at the start. Yeah, if you're playing against a human player, you press launch battle, and then you cancel it like a second later. And that will make sure the clock doesn't ticks down from 3 minutes from when your opponent presses start. So that's really helpful. Anyway, you should probably know about that already. Anyway, right. So here, so on red side, this flag is going to be important for me. It's probably going to lose it at the start of the game. If you're playing against humans, that is. Not against the AI, though. Yeah, so that one, and that one. These are the ones closest to the front. This one is really contentious. This one particularly contentious. On my opponent's side there, he's got 2 right in the centre. So, and he's got 1 right up here too. So, if you look at the blue side, you've got 1, 2, 3 flags close to the front here. Where there's 2 on red side. So, red side, I would say, is the better side on this map. Because you can sort of lose this one, but then you can push through into here. If you can get into here and gain this flag, and you can get more units in, and you can cut off any reinforcements coming in here, you can take over these 2 flags fairly well and cause problems. So they're then filtering units into this area, and then you can push more in a town as well. But anyway, this one is 3 arenas. You got this flank, and the centre. That's basically it. So it's really simple. So when I'm deploying here, want to get stuff into the forest. Another thing to think about here when you're doing a deployment, I forgot, yeah, I've got flamers here. So I'm saying I want them to unload here. Now, if you do this, what they will do, a lot of them, is they will drive down this road, down here, out round here, then come up here, then go into here and unload. And your opponent usually has a machine gun up here, maybe they have a fast like recon car coming up here, or light AT gun, and they will pick all of these off and they will die in the open. They will unload them at least. So what you want to be doing here is like the other thing I was talking about. Fast move to here, and then deal with it. Now if you do fast move like this and then give an unload order like that, you will find this doesn't quite work how you want it to. I will show you this shortly actually. And again, machine guns, flamer. Maybe I don't want to use the flamers in the town so much here. I just want to get them into the more forested areas. Infantry, I've got tankos. Yeah, I want these in more forested areas too. So pop them around here. Strelky DP in a town, they're going to do great stuff. I don't want things to be surrendered, so I want them in the town. Definitely want them in the CQC over here as well. Over here, yeah, good idea to have one over there. Recon, this can pop one in here, can get good vision. That'd be nice. These little Valentines, these are kind of neat actually. They're so cheap for what they do. So a couple of those. And I got 75mm of pen, which isn't fantastic, but 80 frontal armor, which is nice. So they can do some handy work. They're cheap. Might be a good idea to chuck one in. It'll take a while to get over there. Once it's over there, it can stabilize this area if they've got any light weaponry in there. Always a good move. Then the AA. Do I want AA or do I want a plane? So I am Maverick against balance. So I'm probably going to want to be getting into the air game. So yeah, get a recon plane at the start. Maybe I won't use it at the start, but I'll get that anyway. Artillery in the town here. Mortars are going to be really good idea. So maybe I'll get a couple of those in the town. Do I want a tank? I've got a leader tank as well in the centre. That could be nice. Valentine over here. They've only got a 1,500 meter range. But as a defensive tank in this area, because they are quite potent. More potent than people realise these things. Actually, I put one in the centre. It's going to take a while to get there, but I think it would do some nice work. And I'm probably going to want to bolster up the centre a bit more. Maybe, what other support weapons? I've only got a Maxim. What else have we got here? Anti-tank. Yeah, going to definitely need some anti-tank in here. Have I got anti-tank over here? No, but I'll just hold off. Yeah, so this would be a bit of a mistake. I've got no AT over here, but I can just bring in... Maybe change my mind a little bit. Remove the Valentine. And remove one of these flamers over here. So I can afford... It's just good to have an AT piece in somewhere. So this is how I would do that. Anyway, so let's just launch a battle and I'll show you what happens to these flamers. So you can see here, this is not... Let me just select all of them. Fast move them all to here. Like, the more units you select, they will come to here. Then if I give them another order to unload here, they will stop. They will kind of wiggle about, do stupid things, waste time, and then move to and go and unload. So let's just deselect these. Let's just fast move them to here. Yeah, fast move them to here, then fast move them to here. You'll see what they do. Oh, go away. Let's go send it out to kill it. So watch what these flamers do now in the motorbikes. Maybe motorbikes are a bit more maneuverable than these other things. Fast move to here, fast move to here. Look, let's get close. Look, so he stops, then he moves around a bit. And these trucks can do the same. So if I fast move to here, then I fast move to here. They do all kind of weird maneuvers. Whereas, let me just show you again. So if I was just fast moving these, then I would just tab through them. Unload here, unload here, unload here. And I've no idea why they take this route sometimes. It's a bit annoying. So this one's going all over the place. So just go there. They sometimes hug the tree lines. I don't know why, because I've actually got the pathfinding turned off. Yeah, just be aware. It's not that obvious here. It's more obvious when you're moving tanks and stuff. Maybe I can show you these. So it's fast move to here. Yeah, look how they spread out. This one's going backwards. Look at where they go. If you do a huge clump of units like this and fast move them all, it can be a pain. Because some of them are unloaded. Fast move. Look, they spread out like this and they go off the road. And if you do that and then unload them over here, they're going to go off the road, then come back onto the road. You just watch. Hopefully they don't get killed. Well, it goes off the road. Now he's driving across here like an idiot. They do all kinds of weird things. So when I was saying if you've been slow with your deployment, like oh my god, I need to get these deployed quickly. Fast move them. Then you want to do the old trick of unload there, unload there, unload there, unload there, unload there, unload there, unload there. You can mess around in different ways. That's not the best example. I cocked that up, but you get the general idea. The shift left click move is deadly important. Anyway, that's it for now. I've got to go play a game, I think. So bye byes.